So the Golden Globes were last night, and this is going to be way more casual. I thought about going category by category, but I really just feel like going off the cuff and talking about what stands out here, what some of these wins mean for the Oscars moving forward, maybe even talk a little bit of TV, I don't know. So I'm just going to be talking about my key takeaways, my reaction to the winners last night. Now, I want to start off by talking about the show itself, and I thought it was fine. I'm not a huge fan of the Golden Globes. I do like how it brings all of these celebrities we know about into one room together where they can all interact with each other. There were multiple people that won last night that commented on Brad Pitt being in the front row, and I thought that was pretty funny. So the show was fine, it did its job. I was happy with the Lifetime Achievement Awards and Eddie Murphy as well as Ryan Murphy, two people who totally deserve those, by the way. But let's look at some of these winners, and we'll start with this guy, friend of the channel, Austin Butler. I say friend of the channel, I just mean his picture's right there, so yeah, now he's a friend. Yeah, so Austin Butler won for Best Actor in a Drama, and that's something that I sort of predicted moving in. I didn't think the Golden Globes were going to award Brendan Fraser due to, their history with him, and he has openly talked about how much he hates the Globes in the past, so I just didn't see him winning here. Austin Butler totally deserves this award. I thought he delivered one of the best performances of the year in Elvis. Not particularly shocking. Now, what does this mean for the Best Actor race moving forward? I do think it kind of narrows the gap now because Austin Butler has officially won something now over Brendan Fraser. Regardless of, Fraser's history with the Globes, it's still a win in the books for Butler. And then Colin Farrell winning for Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy. I mean, that wasn't a shock to anyone, but now, you have Colin Farrell winning, Austin Butler winning, Brendan Fraser doesn't have an award like those two now. And so while I still think that Brendan Fraser is the front runner, it's not by a wide margin. I think Farrell or Butler could easily slip in there and get that Oscar. All three of them, I feel like, are guaranteed nominees. If anything, this shored up any doubt that Austin Butler wouldn't get nominated. He will absolutely get nominated for an Academy Award after last night's win. Huy Quan, love to see him win last night for Everything Everywhere All at Once. He totally deserved that. I was not going to be happy if he ended up losing to that, but if he were to lose, I would want maybe Brendan Gleeson to win that, but, Quan was the expected winner. He goes in, gets the win that he's supposed to get. They have a saying in sports that, win the games you're supposed to win, and that's what Huy Quan did last night. This is just him continuing to gain momentum now, leading up to the rest of the awards bodies and the Academy Award nominations, and I couldn't be happier for the dude. If you haven't watched him on those Hollywood roundtables they do around this time every year, he is a joy to listen to. He just seems like such a nice person. And he started tearing up last night whenever he won. I couldn't be happier. That was a great way to open the show. And then slipping over into the other supporting category, Angela Bassett gets the win for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And my line of thought for Angela Bassett has gone from, yeah, maybe she'll get nominated, to, oh yeah, she'll get nominated, then to, oh shoot, does she have a chance to win this thing, to, oh my god, she's the front runner now. I mean, think about it now. I have been confused on who the front runner could be since Women Talking has sort of slipped out now, because for a long time it was going to be Jessie Buckley from that movie, and then she didn't get nominated at the Globes, so I was like, okay, so is it Carrie Condon now? She's getting nominated everywhere, but now Carrie Condon loses to Angela Bassett. Granted, it is a very Golden Globes move to, award the most famous person in this category, and Angela Bassett totally deserves it. I'm not saying that she didn't over Carrie Condon. She deserves the award, but with that being said, multiple people deserve the award. But it's got me thinking now, what's going to happen with the other awards bodies now that Angela Bassett has an actual win under her belt? So now I think that she is absolutely getting nominated for the Oscar. She's got to be considered as a top contender to win the dang award now, along with people that have been nominated everywhere like Carrie Condon, Jamie Lee Curtis. I still hope Stephanie Hsu gets in there. It seems like she's really only missed out on the Globes, and then one other awards body that I can't think of right now. But those seem to be the three that are everywhere. So in my opinion, those last two slots are kind of up for grabs. I still think Jessie Buckley gets in there, and I'm fingers crossed for Stephanie Hsu. And I just love seeing Angela Bassett win this. You could tell that everyone in the room loves her, and they were happy to see her. She gave a good shout out to Ryan Coogler, Chadwick Boseman, everyone with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. The first major acting win for anyone in a Marvel movie, which is kind of mind-blowing. Michelle Yeoh wins for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy, and similar to Huy Quan, win the awards that you're supposed to win. This wasn't shocking at all. There wasn't a moment where I thought she wasn't going to win this thing. The Best Actress race at this point is between her and Cate Blanchett. I think that Cate Blanchett is going to bring home the Oscar. You could tell the award means a lot to her. I love seeing her get this win, especially if Cate Blanchett goes on to win the Oscar. I'm glad that Michelle Yeoh is getting some recognition for her performance in that movie. But yeah, I guess I already mentioned her, but Cate Blanchett won for Best Actress in a Drama. In my opinion, it wasn't even close. Like, yeah, with the amount of wins the Fabelmans got, maybe Michelle Williams could have slipped in there, but I never seriously thought that anyone was going to win this other than Blanchett. The Best Actress is a two-horse race between Blanchett and Yeoh at this point. They both won last night, so that doesn't change my feelings about the Best Actress race at this point. I still think it's Blanchett, but those two have basically guaranteed themselves nominations. One of my favorite surprises of the night was Naatu Naatu winning Best Original Song for RRR. I love that. Now, I haven't done a review on RRR. Maybe that's something I need to do before the Academy Awards if it gets nominated in a bunch of places. But after I saw that movie, Naatu Naatu was stuck in my head for like a week. I've watched the dance sequence associated with that song like 30 times. I'm a little surprised that the Globes didn't go in the direction of a celebrity here. Like Lady Gaga was nominated, Rihanna was at the awards ceremony, but no, they decided to give it to Naatu Naatu, which is even more shocking whenever you think of the fact that RRR didn't win Best International Feature Film. This was like one of the biggest shockers of the night. Not only did RRR not win that, but All Quiet on the Western Front didn't even win it. It was some movie that I've never heard of called Argentina 1985. Those three films that I just mentioned between Decision to Leave, RRR, All Quiet on the Western Front, they've been talked about at maybe getting a Best Picture nomination or their directors getting nominated at the Academy Awards. And now this random movie from Argentina came in and won. This was a huge shock for me. I'm happy for the filmmakers because I'm sure they worked really hard on the movie. It just adds another film that I need to watch before the Academy Award nominations come out for me to make an educated guess on whether or not this thing is going to get nominated. I would imagine now, if it is worthy of beating those three movies here, then it probably will be nominated at the Academy Awards, and now it has to be considered as a potential frontrunner. I still think that it's going to be either All Quiet on the Western Front or RRR that wins the Academy Award, but Argentina 1985 has come in guns a-blazing now. This thing is a contender for sure. I wasn't a giant fan of Babylon, but I am happy to see Justin Hurwitz win for the score. The score was good. I mean, Justin Hurwitz doesn't do a bad job. On every movie he does, the guy is great. And on the award show, I think they said that he's won 4 of these bad boys now. Off the cuff, I would imagine it's for La La Land, First Man, and then I think The Greatest Showman, he worked on that. I could be wrong there. But his 4th Golden Globe, happy for him. I love seeing people that are good at what they do go out there and win, regardless of how the movie's performing right now. I'm not gonna lie, I teared up whenever Steven Spielberg won Best Director and I got to listen to his speech, because it just kind of dawned on me as he talked about what the Fabelmans meant to him. It dawned on me that we're not going to be able to see him give this sort of acceptance speech many more times in the future, and he's only got so many movies left in him. A small percentage are probably going to go on to win an award like this, if any, because it's just so competitive to win these things now. So as I was watching my favorite director of all time come in and win this award for the movie about his upbringing, a project that clearly means a lot to him, I couldn't help but tear up, okay? I got emotional at the Golden Globes. Whatever. I thought the award was going to go to the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I still think that they're the front runner for Best Director of the Oscars. We'll see how the DGA goes. But you know what? I'm never going to complain about Spielberg winning an award like this. Martin McDonagh lost that category. I wasn't shocked, but I was a little surprised whenever he won Best Screenplay. I don't know, but for whatever reason, I thought either Everything Everywhere or maybe even Women Talking was going to win, since Women Talking is sort of the frontrunner for its screenplay category for the Academy Awards right now, or it has been. But you know what? The Banshees, I think that that's one of the best scripts of the year for sure. McDonagh has earned that award. I'm happy to see him walk home with some hardware, and at this point, he's the frontrunner for Best Original Screenplay. Totally deserves it. I would not be complaining if he had the Oscar. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio won Best Animated Picture. Not shocking. I thought maybe there was an outside chance that Puss in Boots won that thing. But, I mean, it was Pinocchio the whole time. It should win the Oscar at this point. I love seeing Guillermo up there accept his award. He's one of the most creative filmmakers out there. It's such a blessing that we get to see his version of Pinocchio. If you haven't watched that movie yet, I totally recommend it. It's really different, really cool, and not like Disney's version that they released in September that was horrible. So yeah, let's talk about the movies that won Best Picture. Fabelmans brought it home for drama, and after Spielberg won Best Director, I kind of thought the Fabelmans would win, because there wasn't really a movie in this category that I thought was definitely the frontrunner at this point. I could see a world where they gave it to Tar, maybe Elvis, since, you know, they got a director nod and Austin Butler won lead. But no, it was Steven Spielberg and The Fabelmans. And you know what? That's a fantastic movie. I'm glad that it got a win. It's been suffering from the same thing that, like, A Star is Born or Belfast have suffered from in the past, and that, you know, it just kind of gets lost in the shuffle because it's more conventional than some of the other movies in this category. But you know what? It's a great movie. I don't care what anyone says, and I'm happy that it got the win there. Steven Spielberg walks home with 2 awards. And then another big shock, Banshees of Inisherin won Best Musical or Comedy Film. And I kind of thought that after Martin McDonagh won Best Screenplay that this movie could get in there and win the award, but I thought the 2 acting wins would ultimately end up pulling through for Everything Everywhere. But nope, it was Banshees. And you know what? I'm not complaining. That's a fantastic movie. I personally like Everything Everywhere All at Once more. I still think Everything Everywhere is the frontrunner for Best Picture right now. But this, again, you know, some of these things, the field narrows a little bit with a win for The Fabelmans, win for Banshees, Everything Everywhere losing out there, but still getting Yeoh and Quan in there with their actor wins. The race for the Oscars becomes a little bit more interesting. The Golden Globes are not the only determinant with those awards, but they can definitely help with momentum for a film or performer. I'm going to briefly comment on the TV shows. House of the Dragon winning Best Drama. Totally deserves it. Loved it, even though the acceptance speech was a little awkward, in my opinion. They didn't even have a whole lot of the cast there. They just had the 2 people that play the lead during different points of her life. And that category was honestly very stacked. I wasn't going to complain with any of them winning at that point. All of them are fantastic shows. If you haven't watched them, you absolutely should. If you're going to prioritize a show under House of the Dragon, definitely let that be Severance. That's one of the best new shows I watched last year. A little bit of me wanted that show to win something, whether it be John Turturro for his supporting role or Adam Scott for lead, Best Drama or something. But you know what? It's just season 1. They got a few more in the tank here. They could come in and win an award in the future. I'm glad to see them recognized here. Surprised that Taron Egerton didn't win for Best Lead, and more so that he lost to Evan Peters, because the Jeffrey Dahmer Monster miniseries was kind of controversial whenever it came out. I personally can't bring myself to watch that because I know what happened with the Jeffrey Dahmer story. I don't want to watch that on screen. Like, I'm sorry, I just don't. I'm not a huge true crime guy. I get that a lot of other people are, but the show's just not for me. I love seeing Julia Garner win another award for Ozark. She is one of the best supporting characters in any show that I've ever seen. Her as Ruth is so ingrained in my brain that whenever she was accepting her award last night, it was off-putting to me that she didn't have a southern accent. And then Tyler James Williams. I haven't seen Abbott Elementary. Clearly I need to because it won like everything last night, but I love seeing Everybody Hates Chris win an award. That's just awesome. Another key takeaway is clearly I need to watch The White Lotus because everyone is in love with Jennifer Coolidge, and that show won Best Miniseries. Even though they just came out with season 2, does that not make it a miniseries, or maybe it's just an anthology show? I don't know. I don't know too much about The White Lotus. That's everything that I had to talk about with the Golden Globes. Thanks for hanging in with me here. I know that this was really casual. I didn't come in with certain talking points. I just have the list of winners in front of me and decided to run down it as I wanted to. But hey, thanks again for watching the video up to this point. I really appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you guys next time.